Hello, students. So, continuing with the soul of food, just revising what we have done in the earlier lecture. This was the first layer, the abductor hallucis, then the abductor digiti minimi, and in the center was flexor digitorum brevis. Now, what I did not tell you about the flexor digitorum brevis was that the tendon of flexor digitorum brevis splits into two, like this. Can you see? If I zoom in, this is the one half, this is the other half. In the center, this is the tendon of flexor digitorum longus. Okay, even the flexor digitorum longus is splitting into two here, but this is not given in the descriptions. What you need to remember is that the flexor digitorum brevis is of the lower limb of the foot is analogous to flexor digitorum superficialis of the upper limb, and its insertion is similar. By splitting into two, it eventually inserts into the base of the middle phalanx, whereas the flexor digitorum longus, the tendon of flexor digitorum longus, passes between these two parts of the tendon of flexor digitorum brevis and inserts on the terminal phalanx. Similar thing has happened here in case of the third toe also. We can see here this is flexor digitorum brevis tendon splitting into two, and passing through that is the tendon of flexor digitorum longus. Longus inserts on terminal phalanx, whereas brevis inserts on the middle phalanx. Right. Then we had seen that flexor digitorum brevis, when we reflect it, we will be able to see the plantar nerves and vessels. This is the medial plantar nerve. Uh, this one, medial plantar nerve, and this one was the lateral plantar nerve. I have cut their trunks, and this was the lateral plantar artery. This lateral plantar artery is going to form something called as the plantar arch. We will see that later on. So the trunks of the medial and lateral plantar nerves and vessels are present between the first layer, which I have reflected down, and the second layer. Second layer में क्या था? There was this flexor digitorum accessorius or quadratus planti, which straightens the pull of flexor digitorum longus, inserts into this thing. And then there is the long tendons of toes, that is flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus. And then there are the lumbricals, which take origin from the tendon of flexor digitorum longus from the medial aspect. This is the first lumbrical and this is the fourth lumbrical. The second and third lumbricals are very rudimentary in this cadaver. Right? Okay. And their nerve supply was obviously the long tendons were deriving their nerve supply from tibial nerve in the leg, back of leg, whereas this flexor digitorum accessorius uh, as well as flexor digitorum accessorius derives its nerve supply from the lateral plantar nerve, the trunk of lateral plantar, and the lumbricals, second, third, and fourth are going to derive their nerve supply from the lateral plantar nerve, whereas the first lumbrical is supplied by the medial plantar nerve. Right. Now, reflecting the abductor hallucis, here, if you have a look, you can see the tendons of this was tendon of flexor hallucis longus, which I've cut this the tendon. This is flexor digitorum longus. You can see them crossing each other. Right now, I have cut these tendons and I will reflect them down. Flexor digitorum longus and flexor hallucis longus as well. Let me put an artery forceps on this thing, but it will keep it down. Now have a look at the arrangement of tendons in relation to the calcaneum. This is the tendon of tibialis posterior. This is the tendon of flexor digitorum longus. This is the tendon of flexor hallucis longus. If I pull this thing up, this bony projection, this one, this is the inferior surface of sustentaculum tali. So flexor hallucis longus passes beneath the sustentaculum tali. Flexor digitorum longus passes medial to the sustentaculum tali, medial aspect of sustentaculum tali, whereas tibialis posterior passes kind of above it. Right, so flexor hallucis longus is lying in a continuous bony tunnel. Superiorly, it is formed. That tunnel is between the two posterior grooves of talus, the medial and lateral, not grooves, the tubercles. So, on the posterior aspect of talus, then on the inferior aspect of sustentaculum tali is flexor hallucis longus. Then, somewhere in the sole of foot, it will be crossed superficially by the tendon of flexor digitorum longus. Right. Okay. Now we come to the muscles of the third layer. So third layer has only the intrinsic muscles of foot. One muscle is the flexor hallucis brevis. Right. This the medial most one. Then there is the flexor digiti minimi brevis that is meant for the little toe. And then in the middle one there is something called as adductor hallucis, which has an oblique head and a transverse head. Now, the transverse head was very rudimentary in this category. The oblique head takes origin from the fibrous sheath of peroneus longus muscle. Peroneus longus, I will show you later on. This is the tendon of peroneus longus. So, the oblique head of adductor hallucis takes origin from sheath of peroneus longus and from the basis of the metatarsals as well, second, third, and fourth metatarsals, and it will go distally and medially. The transverse head comes somewhat like this. And what is the nerve supply? The flexor hallucis brevis. I had already told you that the medial most digital branch of medial plantar nerve supplies flexor hallucis brevis, while the second one uh, that was supplying the first lumbrical muscle. So flexor hallucis brevis is supplied by medial plantar nerve. Adductor hallucis is supplied by the deep branch of lateral plantar nerve, whereas flexor digiti minimi brevis is supplied by superficial branch of the lateral plantar nerve. Now, if I reflect the this adductor hallucis, the oblique head of adductor hallucis downwards, then we are going to see something called as the plantar arch. Now, this was the lateral plantar artery, right? And this is the deep branch of lateral plantar artery. Here you can see this is forming an arch. This is called as the plantar arterial arch. This gives the plantar metatarsal arteries which go distally, and at its medial end it is continuous with the dorsalis pedis artery. Remember, dorsalis pedis was a continuation of anterior tibial artery in the dorsum of foot. So dorsalis pedis artery dips down in the first intermetatarsal space through the two heads of the first dorsal interosseous and becomes continuous with the medial end of this plantar arterial arch. And within the concavity of this plantar arterial arch lies the deep branch of the lateral plantar nerve, which is going to supply all the medial three dorsal interossei and the medial two plantar interossei. The last dorsal and plantar interossei lying in the fourth intermetatarsal space, they are supplied by the superficial branch of the lateral plantar nerve. Right. And so these are the muscles of the third layer, that is flexor hallucis brevis, adductor hallucis, flexor digiti minimi brevis. And then finally, so between the third layer and the fourth layer are lying the plantar arterial arch, which arises from the deep branch of lateral plantar artery and the deep branch of the lateral plantar nerve. Finally, the fourth layer, the muscles which you can just barely see, these are the interossei. They are lying between the metatarsals. So, in the intermetatarsal spaces, and that is why they are called as interossei, because they are lying between bones. Interosseous means between bones. Plus, there are two long tendons of the foot. One is peroneus longus. Now, have a look at the lateral aspect of the foot. This was the lateral malleolus, and if I reflect the abductor digiti minimi, you will see this was the tendon of peroneus longus. This was the tendon of peroneus brevis. Brevis jo tha, that was inserting where? Brevis was inserting somewhere in the base of the fifth metatarsal, whereas longus goes down and then it turns medially into the sole of foot and goes medially to insert very close to tibialis anterior की tendon. Now if I show you on the medial aspect of the foot, this was the tendon of tibialis anterior coming down. So peroneus longus and tibialis anterior are inserting on the this medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal, whereas tibialis posterior, here again back of leg की जो tendons थी, tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus, tibialis posterior inserts into all the tarsal bones except the talus, right? It gives a slip to almost all the tarsal bones and plus the first three bases of first three metatarsals as well. It is not inserted only on the talus, right? So peroneus longus and tibialis posterior, these are the long tendons of foot which form part of the fourth layer of sole. Plus fourth layer में interossei आ जाएंगे. Interossei, there are three plantar interossei and four dorsal interossei. We all know their function. You can remember by the mnemonic DAB and PAD. DAB, D for dorsal interosseous, AB for abduction. There is one little difference in case of the foot. In case of upper limb, in case of the hand, the middle finger, the axis of the middle finger was considered as the central axis, around away from which we consider the movement as abduction and towards which we consider the movement as adduction. In case of the foot, the second toe, the axis of second toe is considered as the midline axis, away from which, so the great toes abduction is medially, whereas the abduction of third, fourth, and fifth toes is laterally. And adduction of the great toe is medially towards the second toe, whereas adduction of third, fourth, and fifth toes is adduction of great toe is laterally towards the second toe, whereas third, fourth, and fifth toes ki adduction is medially towards the second toe. The second toe only abducts either medially or laterally, so it has only dorsal interossei, which cause abduction. It has no adductor, so it has no plantar interosseous. So the dorsal interossei are, the first one inserts on medial aspect of the second toe, second one inserts on the lateral aspect of second toe, third inserts on lateral aspect of third toe, and the fourth inserts on lateral aspect of the fourth toe. And where do they actually insert? They insert into the dorsal digital expansion and some part on the base of the proximal phalanx. Same goes for plantar interossei. They are adductors of the third, fourth, and fifth toes. First plantar interosseous will insert on medial aspect of third toe. Second interosseous, plantar interosseous will insert on medial aspect of fourth toe, and the third plantar interosseous will insert on medial aspect of the fifth toe. So all plantar interossei will cause adduction of second, of third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Right? Okay. So that's all.